The issue is also going to arise in relation to adoption. And this is going to be a difficult question, and it isn't dealt with in this bill, it's ignored in this bill. And I understand why that is, because it's contentious, but sooner or later it's going to have to be addressed. My view on this is simple. Every child has a father and a mother. Two men cannot have a child, two women cannot have a child, and a single person cannot have a child on their own unless they procure the products, the pre-products of conception from an alternative source. And that is a fact, and nobody can deny otherwise. Unfortunately, sometimes in children's lives, one of their parents isn't interested in them, or unfortunately, in some cases, one of their parents dies. And that's very sad. But in those circumstances, it should be the role of the state, where a child is an orphan, to try and replace their mother and father with an alternative mother and father. And that should be the objective of the state. Every child has a mother and a father, and every child has a right to a mother and father. And as much as possible, the state should try and vindicate that right. And that right is much more important. The right of that child to have a mother and father is much more important than the right of two men to have a family, or two women to have a family. And I think that should be the principle that underlines our laws in relation to children and adoption. And that's another reason why I would be uncomfortable about adoption of children by single people as well, regardless of their sexual orientation. I do not think that I, as a single man, should adopt a child. That child should go to parents, ideally a mother and a father, to replace what they had before. There are, of course, exceptions to every rule, and there are difficult cases.